I'll bandage you now, then we'll all get a massage. Now everything is actually quite good. This is a bed sore. My name is Larisa. I work as a nurse at the Red Cross. Who do I help? The lonely and the sick. If there are medical indications, these can be bed sores, there can be trophic ulcers, or there can be infected wounds. All of this needs to be treated. Yes, I have a medical education. I am a nurse since my husband is a serviceman, and I also served in the Soviet Army. I worked in military hospitals. I was a senior nurse for 6 years in the far north. Mishka is very well behaved. I even fed him condensed milk. So you give it to him like this, and he just gulps it down and then licks it up. White ones, huge like this with cubs, 13 years in Estonia. Yes, the union collapsed, so I returned to Belarus. Since I had worked in military medical institutions before, that's it. After that, I decided to join the Red Cross. Actually, before that, I hardly even knew that we had a Red Cross in Minsk. Walking past the Mir cinema, I saw the Red Cross and wondered what it was. I asked, "What do you do here?" She replied, "You're a medic. Join us right away." That's how I ended up there. This boy here is our oldest. How old are you? 80, right? He's the oldest one. And the youngest is Sivak Nastia. She's 22, I think, already. That's the girl who was in a coma, clinically dead, and she was saved. Well, tell me, Nastenka, how are you doing? Okay. Actually great. Well done, sweetheart.
Hi, I'm Lesha Sudnikov, filming the project Not a Little Person. Larisa Dmitrievna is amazing and very cheerful. I meant to say funny. By the end of the episode, some of you may fall in love with her. You'll learn what surprised us most in just a few minutes. Trust me, I asked multiple times to be sure when I found out. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave comments, and hit the like button. That way, as many people as possible will see our story. See you soon. Bye.
I come in and sometimes I see that something needs to be cleaned up. I roll up my sleeves and get to work. I don't think there's anything shameful about it. Well, I had some domestic issues, really difficult domestic issues. So you come to him and he says, my refrigerator is broken, I have nowhere to put my groceries, that's it. I go to the workshop, arrange things and tell them, check out the refrigerator and see what can be done. Be sure to trim his nails and change his diapers. Well, he needs to be washed, yes. If someone has a lot of hair on their head, I always invite a hairdresser. Well, my hairdresser is actually a volunteer. My younger son, he cuts hair really well. And we give them what I call a hedgehog haircut, a hedgehog. Does it hurt you? No, my dear, right? I call it a mini massage. There you go, my dear, there. I have 8 people under my care. I work with clinics, and then they registered with our office. Well, yes, calls, people contact each other, like you asked. Yes, they reach out, pass things along, and ask for help. I take him under my care and we work with him until the end of his days. If it's someone who is alone and if they need something like bandages or dressings, I do all of that. And when I see that he has, well, you could say recovered, I leave him in the care of his relatives.
And how do you feel about those you care for? Who are they to you?
Well, like children, even those who turned out to be difficult old men, right? Later on, we actually found common ground with him. Well, last year I had one. I visited him for 3 months. He kept insisting I came to take his apartment, even though I told him I had my own, but he just kept whining. When he recovered, he said if he could walk again, he'd take me to the theater. Well, you can eat the orange later, yes, and tell me if it was tasty or not, and then I'll bring you more. Okay? All right. I had to bury those who were under my care. Here's someone, as I mentioned, buried where my dad is. Yes, and we even put up a monument. He left some money for it, yes. And well, we thought we should contribute too and put up a monument for him. And now when we visit my parents' graves, he's there too. And he's always visited, never forgotten. Why? Because over time they basically become, well, like family, that's it. And my conscience just doesn't allow me to simply abandon them. That's all. Go on, come on, you're being like this today. There he is, the dog. That's it, my bunny. That's it. It hurts. Quiet now. Let's lie down calmly. Lie down calmly. I will be very careful. What's the interaction with relatives like? Wonderful. We fight for the patient together. That's it. I had an interesting case like that. She ended up alone. She didn't have any children, but her relatives were in Ukraine. And when I came in, I opened the door and shouted, "Is anyone here? Who's there?" There was no one. And it's a good thing I went into the kitchen. She was lying on the kitchen floor. Apparently she had lost consciousness. So I asked the neighbors for help and we carried her to the bed. But I noticed on the wall, if something happens, there's a phone number to call. You understand? You know what condition she's in. She's alone. The woman is about 65 years old. After a stroke, she's in her own 3-room apartment. Well, when Grandma became bedridden, her son had his own family. You know, she had huge bed sores, yes. That's it. And somehow they forbade me from visiting her because I was her only breath of fresh air, yes, with me through to freedom, as they say. That's how I put it, you know? Well, and when my granddaughter openly comes and says, "Grandma, are you still alive?" Yes. But there were times that made me very happy. When sons, it's very rare to find those who take care of their mother. The apartment was always clean with food ready. I taught him and he handled the bandaging. I told them openly, I said, "Listen, I so rarely meet sons who really care about their mother." And he says, and his answer was, he said, "Well, how could it be any other way? That's my mom, you know, it really touches your heart. It's his mom. Who is the woman living with you?" "She is my ward who was assigned to me by the clinic a year ago with severe bed sores." She has the status of a homeless person because she doesn't have any place to live. Why didn't you put on lipstick? I already bragged that I'm speaking in front of a guest. No, you have to. That won't work here anymore. Well, here she is with us right here in the kitchen. We had to put her here.
Consider her my relative.
Already a relative? Yes, you see, if the patient says so. I rented rooms and lived on a small pension, but someone would stop by. Some people do care. The landlady is dying, right? And the new relative suggested that she leave the apartment. But where am I supposed to take her? They say she must leave here by tomorrow. Well, how long do you think she would survive on the street? Obviously, someone would call the police and she would be taken somewhere. And that's why, together with the kids, we decided to let her stay with us for now. Well, she's been living with me for a little less than a year. But what should I do with her next? Well, I guess that's how it will turn out, but I don't know yet. I don't know about the future. I need to at least get her back on her feet, right? So that she can at least try to move around somehow.
She is a wonderful person to me.
Enough complaining or I might start crying.
When she started working with me, I told her to do things in a way that somewhere it would be noted that she has my gratitude.
And gratitude, no, if I were a squeamish person, I wouldn't be working here. Basically, I'm the kind of person who, well, doesn't really acknowledge what that is. Well, wounds, you know. How am I supposed to work with them if I turn away and faint? Young people won't go for that. And even, yes, she has a good salary. I think that, well, I don't know, they won't work. Well, I'm not going to force them, right? That's it. Well, probably there's no one to pass it on to. We had a young man, but he only worked for half a year. And he said, "No, I don't like this job and I won't work like this. I get a salary, yes. And how much is it?" "No, I won't say. It's not much money, so I'm staying quiet." If you love your job, yes, then you enjoy it. When he recovers and thanks you, calling you angels and kissing your hands, do you know what that means? Well, it's probably worth a lot of money.
Well, is it ever hard for you emotionally?
Well, I wouldn't say that I come home all broken and upset or that I really worry about it, you know. Well, you know, I take it all in, but I bounce back quickly. The cat cuddles up to me and everything passes. I rest for a couple of hours, then return to work as planned. They thought it was simple. Well, this job brings satisfaction. Why? Because there are a lot of positive things, right? People recover, people are happy, as they say, that they've gotten better. Going to the hospital is not for me. Quit? Well, where would I go? No, I'm probably just used to this job. I don't want to change it anymore. Well, okay, and what now? So that's it. I go home and just wait to get Alzheimer's? I don't need that. I need my mind to keep working, you know, my hands, so that my mind and knowledge can benefit people. Being a sister of mercy, well, that's my life, I guess, to live and help those in need. Those who really expect help from me, that's it. And when our help is really at a good stage, yes, well, we are both happy about it. I like my job. What do I bring to people? Kindness, kindness. Benefit, yes. Health, right?